Doomfist Reaper main, and both of those people were garbage.
750 plus 750.
We're about to get a foot of snow.
Oh, really?
Right now, when I was on my way home from work, the rain was
What is
freezing
Zero
as
Wolf?
it touched the ground. Top 500?
You have to
Zero
go to
Wolf.
season 10.
Holy crap. A gold. Okay.
It'd be
Zero Wolf,
100
you gotta
over.
do your placements there, Big Chief. Gotta get those golden guns there, big fella.
Toronto is 100 points too high.
Yeah.
Toronto, just throw a game real quick. Well, I mean, what if Phoenix is okay with it though?
So tell Reed they're 100
talk to
too
their
high.
co-captain.
It's 51 to 45.
I mean, what if you just talk to Phoenix's co-captain and just see if they're okay with it?
Phoenix has given the go-ahead.
Phoenix has given the go-ahead. I really want Fallen to play Doomfist though, because I really like watching Doomfist play. As long as he doesn't get Flashbang, Brigida stunned, Lucio booped, Ham, and Power Drives, he's really fun to watch.
Let's start the match, I guess. Oh, here we go.
New Bonnie, I think this is like a 50-50 map. Like, as much people hate it as they do love it. If you play characters with any mobility, you probably love this map. But if you're like an Orisa main, you probably don't like this map too much.
I'm perfectly fine with this map. Funny enough, like, even though you say that, this is actually probably one of my favorite maps to play as Orisa.
And yet you hate Hanamura.
I do genuinely hate Hanamura. Like, Hanamura has always been one of my least favorite maps to play.
Just to run Orisa Hog, May on defense, and you win the game.
But again, I don't like Orisa Hog. I don't think Orisa Hog is a good combo.
It's a great combo on Hanamura. Every other map, nah, take it or leave it.
I would much rather run Orisa Hammond than I would Orisa Hog.
Hear what they're running. They're gonna run.
Okay.
Pharmacy with a dive. Yeah.
Yep, Pharmacy. But it's defensive dive.
Oh, and there's an
Pharmacy, defensive dive, and Ash. Meanwhile, from Phoenix.
You can see a soldier. They're really, really gonna have to make sure they get Diva out of the mech before they pop Tank Visor.
See, they're taking
yes, absolutely. I don't know how much this Junkrat's really going to be able to do with Ash, Diva, and Pharah.
That is true.
So he'll likely be able to get a lot of damage into the Winston if he's not completely.
I don't think he will be, just because I'm already Winston.
Ooh, excuse me.
Looks like they're separating a small bit.
Diva's
going
alone.
bottom.
Yeah.
Really doesn't look like they're.
Looks like the Lucio is. Yeah, looks like the Lucio is trying to get them to go upwards.
Junkrat is alone.
Going underneath, but
and they're going up.
He's going underneath because he's from down under.
Junkrat though going basically uncontested gets the far in the trap, but nobody gets the kill on that.
And they're really going to the corner.
2 picks.
2 picks, and them at least removing the Toronto Lucio. Another from Phoenix going down.
Lucio down. Yeah, this is lost fight. They need to pull out.
Yep, with no healers. Yep.
They need to do what my dad. They need to do what my dad should have done. Pull out. Interesting though that they didn't want to stagger the baby diva. I definitely would have waited to kill her.
Yeah, they should have waited
and then kill her.
little bit.
They haven't switched to counter pharmacy, and I don't know what it is. People think Soldier can counter pharmacy by himself. He just can't.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Moira.
Yeah, really quick pick out of the Pharah there on the Moira.
Mm-hmm.
Likely gonna cause them to not pull, but it looks like they're trying to go underneath at least to cover the fire from her. With 2 down on the side of Phoenix, they really need to fall back, but it doesn't look like they're going to.
They need to switch to a better hit skin. They have a Diva, like I mean, Diva can do it too, but Charlie's carrying this so far because they can't touch him.
And Lucio.
Hot
Lucio,
Siren, but nothing. They're still on point. They're just feeding.
Yeah.
Bob's doing something. Gets Soldier with the barrage. Bob gets Ryan.
And again, the pharmacy going entirely uncontested.
Oh, there goes Ruben.
They're just using unnecessary ults right now.
It's true.
They are.
Like, after obviously losing the point, they should have just fallen back. But that's the other thing. As of the 3 minutes that they've had in this push, they've yet to had one push where they've all gone in the same direction, with the same "let's go."
Right,
because
right.
they've been split at every point.
If all else fails, you just get everybody to get ult and then press triangle at the same time.
And they also, for some reason, keep going. Wait.
Oh.
Bomb actually finding 2, finally knocking the Pharah out the sky. Let's see if it'll be enough.
There goes Mercy resing the Pharah.
Yeah, Mercy resing the Pharah.
Now that Pharah's alive, I think they win this fight.
Yeah, likely. With the point being fully contested, there's 2 picks on the side of Phoenix. So they're not out of this fight yet. Both supports
coming back.
out.
That is a quick bob, dude. That was a quick bob.
Pharah going down out of the sky.
Mercy's still.
Moira is a Pharah counter.
Mercy doing everything that she can to keep Diva in mech. Lucio
Hoppy boy. Diva's out of mech. Good job. Great job. Good job by that Soldier. But again, I think
Phoenix able to actually pull together and nab that point. I was actually genuinely surprised. I think the biggest thing for that push was that Diva bomb, taking out both the Diva and the Pharah and making Mercy.
They used Shatter, Coalescence, Tactilizer, and Diva bomb.
They literally used every single.
They should have saved Tactilizer for next fight when they're gonna have to take out the Pharah, because regular Soldier's not gonna be able to do it. Lucio gets the resurrection. Diva's D-Mech, so if you have Visor, this is the time to do it.
Huge slam taking out the Winston.
They have nothing to block this time, unless Winston can be Pog Bubble Boy, but that's it.
And nope, nobody's on the point.
Ash is behind. She's just gonna be able to shoot from behind free, as long as she can hit her shots. No, but Ana, the grandma, takes Ash out. Pog champ.
Finally pushing him back because they have no tanks to really hold this position except the Winston, who doesn't look like he wants to go in yet. Looks like they might make... Oh, nope, there's Winston with the final
contest. They're running dive. You can run dive all you want, but you have to actually, like...
Yeah.
Take high ground and keep high ground.
There's the second point.
Junkrat down.
Honestly,
that was a terrible nano. That was a questionable nano. They didn't need to use that nano.
The point between the first and the second point for Nimbani is really the only problem I have with the map. Especially in comp, because if you play well enough, you can actually make it much harder for the opponent to secure a victory if you let them have the first point and just like hold them strong on before the second point, because it's almost impossible to recover. If you're
Ash with the pro strats. Ash with the pro strats, just let them take point. They didn't need to use. That's the second
double
time.
Bombs coming out, each finding one tank.
Ryan is way more important of a pick though.
That is true.
Honestly.
Here's Bob.
Bob coming
Bob
out.
is doing something. Good job, Bob.
Bob slept. And unfortunately, he slept in the corner, so he's likely not waking up, but they were able to push Phoenix
she's
back
getting
into the turn anyway.
getting Bob really, really quickly. Already 20% back to ult. And they have Barrage. They have Barrage, so, I mean, you go for the side of
Junkrat
Toronto.
taking out the Lucio, who was far away from his team. We'll see if that ends up biting him in the butt.
I do like the switch from Toronto on to Ryan. To Ryan's already, because unless you're using high ground and stuff with Monkey, you're not going to be able to do anything. The Ryan just
Yeah, there's
has
no
free
reason to use
slams all day. They need to be up with the Ryan. There you go, there we go.
Battle. Slam finding Diva.
Charlie picks 2, and then Ryan goes down. Ana goes down. This is a messy fight.
Yeah, very messy. But Phoenix
Ults come out.
Let's see if
this might be big.
Oh.
Ooh, that sneaky barrage from the back though.
Barrage.
Huge impact on Phoenix's momentum.
Looks like Diva forgot her umbrella.
Phoenix may have just enough time for one last push. With only 15 seconds though, they desperately need somebody to touch that point.
They need to switch to Hammond. Hammond! Switch to Hammond, he can get the point the fastest.
Soldier coming in with the touch.
Diva's still in back. I don't know how good this is going to
be. Soldier going down, even Diva with the nano.
Ana's taking some questionable positioning here. Big grab. Bob is doing something.
Huge grab, cleaning up everybody on the side of Phoenix.
Bob is still alive. Big pogger.
Diva's really contesting.
Doing the best that you can, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to be enough as Phoenix takes 2 points in the first map.
Honestly, Charlie is carrying this game so far. Absolutely carrying this game.
They've had nothing to honestly contest them in any way, shape, or form. Even with the soldier, it would be different if the soldier was actually picking them out the sky, but they're not.
Well, soldier v Pharah is one thing. Soldier v Pharmacy is a completely different
an entirely different thing. There's not enough like sustained burst damage to actually suspect that you're going to be able to knock her out the sky.
So you'd have to hit straight headshots and a helix rocket to be able to do it.
Right, and it's just not likely to happen. I understand if they don't have a Widowmaker, but even then, I'd much rather pick Ash.
McCree, Diva.
Right, I'd much rather pick Ash than give it to Soldier.
And Pro Hammond.
Because at that point, you're just banking on the tack visor to give you something, but it's too much to waste an ult just to counter 2 heroes, knock them out the sky, when you could likely get more value just trying to pick them out the sky with a better hero to begin with.
Toronto is going with the same starting comp. Dive is much better on attack. Oh, that's not too.
Phoenix looking like they're having some trouble deciding who to pick. The Junkrat already at the point, but it looks like nobody else is making it there yet.
Honestly, I would run double hit scan just to help the soldier, or run a tank that can contest the far as well to help out.
As of right now, they're definitely not doing that with Junkrat on the field and still half of the team not deciding who they're playing on the side of Phoenix.
Game has started. They have Ana now.
Ana and Moira is waiting on Zero Wolf to choose the soldier. Unfortunately, though, they're going to be way too late with Toronto already arriving on the point.
Winston disengage dives, and that's questionable. Disengage leap.
With the rest of Phoenix finally arriving,
Toronto was way too timid. They could have just pushed in really
hard. They honestly could have. And I understand that they didn't know that they were split up like that, but when they saw the point that was open and clear, they should have just hopped right onto it.
Diva by herself the next.
Reinhardt going down on the side of Phoenix.
Charlie takes out. I mean, the only thing they have, they can.
Moira contesting alone. Moira finally going down, which will likely give the point to Toronto.
Matt Vest got 2 picks that fight was in. That was too hard.
Phoenix still charging head forward into the line. trying to contest the point for as long as they can, but I don't think they should. I think they should. Oh,
that was the
huge
luckiest
pin
pin I've ever
finding the
seen.
Mercy.
That was...
Actually, maybe giving them the chance to take it back, except Fallen Neko still going uncontested as Ashe above the point.
They're not even looking at him. And
No,
Bob
not
doing
even
something.
looking. Bob coming out. All of Phoenix running off of the point as they're trying to avoid Bob and all the other tanks
honestly, just feeding right now. Look at the ults for the side of Toronto.
It's true.
Charlie carrying the fight again. Like they need to kill the Pharah. That's the
And
win
going
condition
down
so far.
once again. Let's see if they end up staggered though, and it looks like they will unfortunately not have Moira going into
she can
second point.
Two main healers. They should probably go to Lucio, honestly, other than the Moira.
Well, I don't know. They're
opinion.
already having enough problem with survivability with the
honestly,
main healers.
If the Junkrat switches to a hit scan or Zero switches to a better hit scan, they won't need extra healing as far as the reporting damage in.
It's true. I'd agree to that.
So the best thing I think for this team so far would be for Phoenix would be good trans, huge trans. Doesn't save anything, but it's fine.
Yep, huge trans doesn't save anything because of the explosive damage from the Riptire, but at least allowing Phoenix to regain some footing, not doing what Toronto did to them and just giving them free space onto the second point.
So the tanks for Toronto don't look at the really peeling exceptionally well. So what Phoenix could do is swap the Soldier for McCree or an Ashe or Widow, and then swap the Junkrat for a Tracer. Swap the Junkrat for a Tracer. One clip Matt, who's been also getting a lot of picks.
Nano Junkrat, funny enough, Diva Bomb coming in and finding two picks.
Ryan put his shield down.
Yeah. Trying to deal with the Pharah, they hit him from both sides with two huge explosive ults, and definitely going to be gaining some ground on this one.
Reinhardt's, you can't block Barrage.
Yes, it's
Your
not
shield
enough.
will get destroyed in like less than a second. Just there.
The only reason to keep your shield up is if you have somebody firing directly on the Pharah who's right next to you.
She'd have to kill her within a second though.
Yeah, basically.
Easy Captain Point there.
Oh. Bullets
and they almost have Bob again.
Almost have Bob and 4 minutes that Phoenix has to hold if they have any hope of winning.
They need a nano visor, but they have to make sure Diva's not in mech.
Ashe on high ground and behind, coming in with a huge Bob, taking out the Reinhardt basically instantaneously.
Junkrat's up top though. I don't think he's going to be able to be contested.
Yep, Junkrat going on to high ground, trying to put some damage somewhere, but I don't think getting any in there. Junkrat, unfortunately, you know, since he's such an inconsistent hero, he can have hugest impacts or just do nothing at all. Unfortunately, it doesn't really look like he's doing much right now.
That's toxic. I think Trans is about to come out though. If I had to guess, Trans is going to come out.
Yep.
Good call, Grizz. Trans coming out alongside with Primal Rage, taking out 3 from Phoenix.
Oh, there's Diva Bomb.
Diva Bomb coming in from the side of Phoenix, finding the Mercy, but unfortunately Diva is unable to come back to point quickly enough for the contest.
Reason the Trans didn't, the reason the Visor didn't get anything, I don't know if anybody saw, but the Diva was actually in mech when he bought Visor. So,
to get Diva out of mech.
You have to get Diva out of mech before you pop tac Visor.
Yeah,
so with the first map going to
Diva
Toronto
just
Skyline.
That tac Visor, boy.
High charge.
Honestly, if you guys don't vote for Charlie, you're throwing.
Yeah, Charlie clear MVP.
Charlie did like
clear MVP of this map. Given that really excellent just choice of hero, given that Phoenix did absolutely nothing to threaten them the entire game.
I think that is a common theme throughout this league. Is a lot of the teams won't counterpick well. Like the game last night, they went soldier against pharmacy, and it just doesn't
And did
work.
the exact same thing, right? And it just is not giving. It's not helping because again, it's the same thing. If you're literally only choosing soldier because you know you can almost guarantee a pull out of the sky thanks to tac visor, it's just not a good idea. Because otherwise, your soldier's literally doing nothing else the whole game except trying to build up ult. And
Holy crap, that was
that's
so fast.
cool.
You were talking
So-
so fast right there.
He's not talking fast. Just listen faster, and it won't be a problem.
Yeah. Hold up a second. I have to text Bullet because he asked if he can join us.
Bullet is a GM Genji main. Very, very powerful.
Very.
And he showed
super.
ML7 how to play Ana, which is also pretty fun.
Yeah, sure.
There's actually a video on Rialto
Look
with ML7. He was playing comp and he ended up queued against XQC. So the whole game he went for these like knee sleep darts on him. And he tilted XQC really, really badly. It was probably my favorite
I
video on
mean,
YouTube.
that's the easiest thing to do in the world, though.
I know, but like
you could put a peanut butter jelly and jelly sandwich in front of XQC and he would get tilted. So.
like he was hiding under the boats, under the bridge after first point, and just sleeping him when he walked by. It was pretty great.
I'm sorry to all XQC fans out there, but you have terrible taste in streamers.
Ouch.
He's... I don't know. ML7's pretty sleeper to watch because he doesn't talk a lot, so he's just. Sorry, I mean I don't know. If anybody wants tips on how to get really, really, really good at the game, go to YouTube and look up Unit Lost Gaming. He's guaranteed to go up like 2 or 3 ranks. Your aim doesn't matter. It's
These
literally
plugs,
just
man.
positioning.
They're so random too, like
Oh Lord.
they're taking out one.
You having
like-
no idea what to do at any
So, like,
second.
No,
What's really
like,
pog about it is
keeping
there
random
are
plugs.
there's actually players in this league that have watched the videos and went up multiple ranks because of the positioning. And Toronto's must be feeling really, really good because they're putting in their bronze player, so they
Crazy.
so we'll see how this goes.
I'll be interested to see what Reed plays since
Doomfist.
usually, yeah, likely. Usually he ends up playing DPS for the team. So, and who did they take out? By the way.
It's about the tank.
Okay, well then he might be playing Reinhardt, which would be
Off
fun
tank.
to see.
He'll be playing off tank. He'll be playing off tank. Jameson's a Reinhardt main. Namixas was playing Mercy. Charlie was playing Pharah. Matt was playing
Right.
Lucio, and Fallen was on the Ash.
DPS, yeah. So
Honestly, they can probably run. You can run Dive on Hanamura. They'll be fine if they just run the same comp.
I mean, we've run dive on Hanamura, especially for that first point. It tends to work pretty well as you're trying to get past the choke.
Amon. If Reed runs Hammond, I'll cry.
I don't think anybody's running Hammond except you, Grizz, but
Here's
I
the
would
thing,
be
though.
surprised to see.
It is so easy to run Hammond right on Hanamura first point. Just swing up,
I agree.
pile drive,
Actually,
and
I
win.
think that Hammond does have a lot of value on Hanamura.
Actually agreeing.
Yeah, I genuinely look. I know that Hammond is a contentious hero as far as his actual viability is potentially concerned, but I actually do think that he does have a lot of maps that he's genuinely strong on, and I do think the first point of Hanamura is one of them.
Second point, you just have to switch to Zarya unless you have Minefield already.
So
Minefield could win you the point because you just put them in the corners by the spawn room and they just walk into them.
yeah, I feel he's significantly less useful on the second point, given the vast amount of space on the second point, which gives him much ability to command all of that area.
Mm-hmm.
But given
Well,
the
there's,
size of the first point on Hanamura and how much difficulty a lot of people have getting even through the first choke on Hanamura, Hammond does have a lot of use there.
I hope they run a cheese strat. I want to see some Bastion Orisa. Maybe a Torb. I would be 100% cool with it.
I think on the vents, I think it was Denver who played May.
Yep, that was
Yeah,
me, actually.
because it's
Yeah.
my favorite strat on Hanamura
That was
defense
me
and
playing May.
Suit. It's like people just keep walking in front of the wall and you just free roll.
Right. Yeah, and it really does so much to eat up the clock, because really, like, that's the biggest thing for me on Hanamura, is sometimes I just accept that eventually they're going to get through the choke and they're likely going to take it, and that's just going to happen, and that's going to suck. But
Nope.
eating up the clock eating up the clock is huge, especially if you're trying to not get steamrolled onto the second point, because you gotta eat up the clock. You actually gotta build up ults. And May really helps with that, helping to stagger the team even slightly. So
You just don't let them get on point in forehead, and then you just don't full hold them. I don't understand. That's just...
Well, I mean, remember, that was one of the things that we were talking about yesterday with LA, saying that they probably could have seriously benefited.
May is so strong on Hanamura.
They could have seriously benefited from a May for the use of defense from LA, since they just had nothing else to hold the first point, really.
Phoenix is making a swap.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
I wonder if he's gonna change his icon to match his team. Or if he's
We can
there we go.
we can only hope
Yeah, it's
that
changed.
they will. Okay.
Is the SR range still good, or?
Oh, yeah, let's check. Who was swapped on what team? I know Reed came in.
Scotia and Reed.
Yeah, it should be good still. Should be the same, I think.
Well, Reed's team went up 100 points. And Scotian, yeah, it went up 100 points. Scotian is a plat, and who did they take out? On the side of
Jaguar.
Jaguar? I thought it was Bowling-Beal.
Oh, on the side of Toronto?
Oh,
Bowling-Beal's
no,
not
I mean on
Toronto.
the side of Phoenix. Yeah, it was Bowling-Beal, which is plat. So, yeah, Phoenix stayed exactly the same. Toronto went up 100 points.
Toronto stayed the same.
Toronto didn't stay the same.
We're gonna literally do this. They stayed the same.
Okay, fine, they stayed the same.
Jaguar and Reed are both diamond.
My bad. I thought they took out. I thought they took out a. I thought they took out a platinum borderline. My bad.
No. The team still.
Let's see. This is a really strong goats map too.
Yeah, it is. I'm actually surprised we didn't see goats from.
Unless you go against Dimber, because you're gonna get Hammond Power Drive, antied, Rhine pinned, and then get team killed within like a minute.
And yeah, like we're gonna bring out the Bastion, the May, the single tank. You can't goats us, boy.
A little bit more. Please.
What?
Shove it down our throats. What you guys would do.
I mean, so this is my thing. The streams are all available for people to watch, so you can watch how to counter goats. Yeah. You can see how we counter goats. It's not that hard to run.
Joking.
I'm not. I want people to stop losing the goats.
I do too, actually. Like the less and less goats I can see. There we go.
Yeah.
Totally expecting goats out of Phoenix, which surprisingly they're not running with a Genji and the Junkrat once again.
I am willing to bet that the Rhine is going to try to pin Sebastian, but the Zarya bubble is probably going to be mistimed by like half a second and Rhine's going to die. That's my prediction.
Maybe we'll end up seeing. Even then, getting an actual Rhine to be able to pin with all that's going to be covering that Bastion. Because even then, all Orisa really has to do is stand in front of the Bastion, and you've already denied. You've already denied a pin.
She already used Fortifying. Genji.
Bastion already backing up.
He shot into Genji's flank, or somebody did. Orisa popped Fortify really, really early. Charlie getting the first pick. Absolute positive.
And unfortunately, Phoenix has zero hit scans. Phoenix has absolutely nothing to contest Pharah again.
Don't sleep on the Froggy Boy. Froggy Boy can take her out.
You can only hope.
And it's not that like none of the heroes that they have could kill Pharah, because anybody can technically kill Pharah. It's just that given Pharmacy, it's likely not to happen, because there's no way to give her enough damage without the Mercy keeping her alive.
Reed running the Orisa is questionable. I mean, I see why he's running it. Just because it's
he did
an
get
easier
one
tank. It's absolutely it's an easier tank than Ryan, so that's why he's playing Orisa instead.
It's a much easier tank than Ryan, and he's just trying to copy me, you know.
Ooh, Dragon Blade
Genji absolutely losing Dragon Blade. We'll see if they end up switching off of Genji and onto a different character. Doesn't look like it's sticking with the Genji.
This is a huge problem amongst all ranks, because these games are amongst all ranks. In ladder and in these games, the attacking people are way too scared to just walk through the choke with DM or Zarya bubble. You have to just walk through.
I agree, because there have been several times where I'll just be like, screw it, and I just go through not caring what's going on. Huge slam.
Terrible.
Huge slam taking out the Bastion. Unfortunately, that's the only one. Mercy likely to go in at the first opportunity and grab that res, but also knocking Pharah out the sky. So with both of the DPS going, this could actually mean that the points going to Phoenix.
Phoenix has a actual hit scan now.
Yep, Phoenix with the Widowmaker. We'll see if she can consistently take Pharah out the sky. And unfortunately, Reed not touching the point despite his fortified Orisa, just handing it to them.
Widow's already killed Pharah twice.
Oh, there goes on.
I mean, consistently. Both supports down on the side of Toronto, meaning that Phoenix can easily snowball into this point as long as they keep touching it.
Reed?
Pharah going down once again. Diva Bomb coming in from the side of Toronto, taking out everybody who survived except for the Moira, who for some reason continues to try to fight. It's just a Moira. It's okay. She can't.
Right?
She can't substitute.
Yeah, Reed pinned all the way off the point. Yeah, it's all. You're not slick, Reed.
Yeah.
And they switch off of Widow to a soldier because they don't have fire anymore.
Oof. Okay. Even then, even without it, I think they'd likely get a lot more value out of McCree and Ashe. You know, definitely, I think Ashe would be the bigger, the better pull, because you just send her straight to the point. I mean, on the side of Phoenix.
Oh.
It is good that Charlie switched though, because if you're getting hard countered like that, yikes for me, dog. A huge Riptire. Reed goes down because he doesn't know how to use the shield.
Taking out Reed and a healer. Unfortunately, they're still not pushing the point, instead fighting on the high ground. Ashe going down, but trading for the Junkrat with the McCree. Diva, the only one fighting on the point, holding it right now until the other tanks come here.
Pin, because he doesn't know how to counter charge.
Reed just barely surviving. Reed finally going down, and here comes the Diva Bomb in time to grab, getting absolutely no one. Phoenix still fighting on the point. Phoenix with one tick.
They need to let him get 2 ticks.
Phoenix with 2 ticks.
That's what they need to do.
And Phoenix with the second point on the second map.
So just a big pro tip: let him take a tick, just so you can get a full regroup and push back onto the point. Don't just one by one go out there and just continue to die.
Because you're just they had the opportunity to still save it. They really did. They had the opportunity, and even once they were all there, even when they were trickling in, they still had nobody actually going to the point, right? They were still just fighting on the little ledge there.
Unless you're a character that can absolutely survive it, like Roadhog Hammond, then just don't.
Or Roadhog, Hammond, May, Moira in a pinch, right? There's a couple heroes who absolutely can survive in those situations. They were using none of them, and still weren't fighting on the point.
And you notice that once they started countering the Pharah, they pretty much just pushed it at will.
Look it. Here's goats.
Just go goats forehead. Just go goats forehead.
Here's goats as expected from Toronto. We'll see if it actually.
They do not have enough damage to counter goats. Unless Junkrat takes high ground and goes uncontested and gets Root Tire within like 30 seconds, they take point.
Yeah, absolutely not enough damage. Although with McCree, if McCree ends up getting a flash and fan or two, he may be able to take out some key healers like the Moira or the Lucio. Other than that, likely not going to see much. Zenyatta also potentially able to help with this, but
McCree shouldn't be that close to goats. He'll just die.
I agree he shouldn't be, but that's what I mean. Like if he's able to get a few flash and fans in there, then he might be able to do something.
Junkrat's going to need to take high ground very quickly. Junkrat is a high ground hero. High ground is, I think it only unlocks once you hit a certain SR, because nobody uses it.
Here they go in.
Marissa fortifies too early.
Toronto charging
really
straight past the Orisa, taking out one of the healers on... taking out two...
Reed uses his favorite button. Goats really works for Reed because he's a really aggressive Reinhardt.
It's true. And there goes everyone on the side of Phoenix. Phoenix, let's see if they pick anything different as we move on to the second point. Going in with a May.
Go goats forehead, go counter goats forehead. Switch off.
But unfortunately, it seems like that's going to be their only change. I don't know if that's the best option for that to be their only change. However, it could potentially be a significant one.
Bastion or Pharah would be the best instead of the Zarya.
Looks like Toronto going in straight
misses the wall.
Center. Misses the wall and uses Cryo Freeze already.
And honestly, the best tank, if you're not going to run a Bastion, the best tank...
Huge slam getting 4 of the members of Phoenix. Riptire getting absolutely no one as it's detonated way too early. One healer going down on the side of Phoenix, or on the side of Toronto, but it doesn't look like it's enough as the entire rest of the team is there.
How fucking nasty Goats is. Like, I hate Goats.
It doesn't matter. It's you can just counter it forehead. If you're not running a Bastion, the tank that you need to run is
coming in, freezing 3 of the members of Toronto, but unfortunately no one dying. Hammond coming out to the point, trying to push anybody off. But it doesn't look like it's going to work as he's the only one surviving there. Diva Bomb coming in and eliminating Hammond. Tracer as well coming in, trying to find anything, taken out immediately by Jameson.
Tracer is bad against Goats because her
Tracer's incredibly bad against
she does nothing to armor.
Oh, there goes that one healer.
Hammond is back, boy!
Oh. Hammond back. Still 5 people on the side of Toronto.
You popped the adaptive a little bit too early then.
Phoenix doing everything that they can in order to contest for as long as they can, but unfortunately they don't. And we end up with 2 points on all sides on the second map.
I think we need to host a class on how to counter Goats. And it's not just talk like I'm not trying to make shit on Phoenix, but like there's only 2 teams I've seen be able to successfully counter Goats. It's us and Toronto's countered Goats before.
I think it's just because like Goats is played so much, and I think too many teams like really depend on Goats.
So if you counter it, you just win.
Yeah, but here's the thing: not many people, like you said, know how to counter Goats. Like, I don't know how to fucking counter Goats, I guess.
There's like a variety of comps. It's just trip DPS is huge for it.
Looks like they're going down.
Depending on what DPS that you're playing, right? It is the case where I do think counter Goats.
Bastion, Pharmacy.
Yeah, I do think that The best counter goats tend to, like, only run the one tank because, you're already basically expecting to get no value out of your tank already because of the fact that they're just going to be overrun by the other tanks on the other team. So it's a lot better to just run explosive DPS,
Also,
get as much damage as you can in there.
if you want to counter goats forehead, the best thing to do is take high ground since nobody can contest it except for Diva.
Yeah,
But again,
get up as
they
high
might
as you
not have it
can.
unlocked. Magic Treehouse works really well against goats as well.
Traditional Ryan Zarya comp coming out of Toronto this time, again, with Charlie on the Pharah, and with
There he goes.
going down pretty quickly to
pops
Scotian, actually. Good
bubble
job.
way too early. And look, high
Reed
ground.
very low on Ryan there, somehow able to survive as his Mercy comes in and saves him.
And he's low, that's how I knew he was going to pen.
Yep, Phoenix.
Oh, there you go.
Phoenix with one person slowly ticking away at the point. Unfortunately, because they've only got the one and they're pushing them so hard, they're really going to take a while to get this.
They don't have a lot of healers, like powerful healers. So if they run counter dive, this would work really, really well. Or anti dive, not counter dive. Sorry.
And it looks like they got
cap.
just enough time. Yep, just enough time for Phoenix to be able to successfully cap it.
You're gonna be staggered a little since their one
Yeah.
tank killed last.
So they just need to run anti dive. Orisa, Hog, McCree, Regina. Diva goes in alone. Diva initiates. Diva's the main tank. Dragon Blade comes out.
Phoenix popping Dragon Blade, but it looks like
nothing.
finding no one as he's killed by the Rhine.
Monkey
Angry
comes
Monkey
out.
popping
Rally
on
comes
point.
out. Switches to Doomfist. Yeah.
Pharah is just getting bullied by the Diva.
I don't know.
Blade
I don't
comes
know.
out.
Diva Bomb coming out, only getting the Genji.
Well, he was blading though, so it's a really good pick.
Oh, okay.
Only Diva.
Grab finding the Diva. Diva's still not really taking any damage out of that grab, but getting demeched.
Now you can pop Sack Visor.
Doomfist actually getting both tanks out. That could be huge for Phoenix.
And a support. So big thing with Pharah, just a small tip. When you play Pharah and you pop your ult, you want to be kind of low to the ground because the spread of your barrage is going to be huge and you're not going to be able to do any damage to anything. Just a pro tip. Ryan needs to start swinging.
Phoenix taking out another tank. Looks like it's just one tank and both supports on the point right now as
Doomfist.
Oh, they have
Fallen
Doomfist.
Neko switches on to Doomfist. Looks like we're gonna have a big old fist off from each team.
Doomfist seismic slammed the Pharah. I just want to put that out there.
And you finding the word fist off very funny.
Stop. This is so gross.
Ooh, Reed getting two hits and
barrage.
finally clearing out the point from Phoenix.
There goes Winston back in there.
I'm already
Yep.
in.
And got
Phoenix has finally moved off the point with 58% of the point taken and 1 minute left for a charge. We'll see if they're able to finally get that fourth point.
Now I know you guys can't see me right now, but I'm smiling really hard because they moved to Soldier to counter Pharmacy again.
Oh, did they really? Oh, they absolutely
Yeah.
did. I'm interested as to why, considering that he did so well on Widowmaker last time.
It might be because I'm already Widowmaker. Sound Barrier and Shatter comes out. Shatter gets
Lots of
low.
ults coming out of Phoenix, but unfortunately none of them really getting them any kills. Reed finally going down though.
Doomfist ult isn't like an ult anymore. It's just a getaway ult.
Sure.
You can only kill like a Zen. That's it.
They're going to tap point.
Maybe an Ana. You can get Ana as well
Yeah,
with it.
yeah. Push yourself. Pulse
And if
bomb
you
doesn't
find
do anything.
yeah. Pulse Bomb getting nothing. Grab coming out, and even the grab finding nothing from the side of Toronto.
Can we point out that the monkey has had 3 ults in the same fight?
Yeah.
Ball champ.
Two. Oh, D.Va Bomb coming out of the side of Phoenix, taking out the Reinhardt and the Lucio. This will likely give them just the time that they need.
Oh, there's the Pharah.
Pharah getting the Brig, and only the Brig, but she manages to survive her barrage and is back in the air.
Oh.
If he would have waited another second for that, he would have killed David D.Va, but it's fine. Charlie is back to carrying the fights again. Reed hitting his favorite button, L1.
And there's the hold from Toronto, holding Phoenix to 3 and 58% of the 4th point.
I bet you 100 V-Bucks they run goats on attack.
Probably.
First of all, I don't play that mess. Second of all, no, because you would win that bet. I would be intensely surprised if we were not going to see another run at goats out of Toronto.
I'd be down seeing some dive goats. I'd rather see that.
Oh.
But nobody wants to run it.
Wait a minute. It looks like we may not see goats out of Toronto.
Oh, big dive. Oh, villain, Reed, you put all bamboozle on me.
Yeah,
Don't
looks
do
like
that.
looks like we're actually going to get a 2-2-2 out of Toronto, likely seeing if they don't have to resort to goats.
Now there's
Reed made me angry.
Why?
Because he was Hammond and he switched to Ryan.
Oh.
It's actually still kind of a goats-ish thing, as Toronto's still deciding what they're going to do, going 2 main healers and a full pharmacy pocket. Looks like they're expecting all of the damage to come out of Charlie. Oh, wait, no. Last switch to Genji at the last second, so going with a 2-2-2. Recharging straight in, able to not die, but end up finding the Zarya instead, taking her out.
Here comes in the Pharah.
Reaper is a far counter, if you didn't know. It's a really weird fight. Everyone's like spread out.
I know. Yeah, it
But
really
Ryan's
is.
still
Pushed all the way
protecting
back
Choke,
to the
even though
point.
like, even Ryan's still protecting Choke. Feels
Yeah,
bad.
even though half of the team is behind him. Reinhardt
Pin the
slept
Ryan,
behind
pin
him,
the
would have been
Ryan,
the
pin the
perfect
Ryan.
time for a charge, but unfortunately he's just not paying attention.
Reed's gonna pin this Ryan bet. Reed's gonna try
Does
to pin this Ryan.
manage to find the Zarya, but the Zarya able to kill him first. Reed and the other Zarya and the Mercy going down. Excellent hold out of Phoenix as they're able to clear
They
the point.
canceled the res as well.
Feels bad.
Oh yeah, it's a huge feels bad.
It looks like they're staying on point.
Reinhardt slept. Reed taking a little snooze.
Now they have
Huge fire strike.
3.
They're going for a slam. When Reed fire strikes is when they should slam. But they
Missed the
didn't.
opportunity for the slam. At this point, it looks like both teams are just poking right now. Nobody really.
Slam.
Oh.
Oh, they woke up the
Dragon Blade
Reed
coming
gets
out of Toronto, manages to find one, but then a huge Death Blossom from Zero Wolf, leaving only the supports left, it seems. Oh wait, no, Mercy and Genji, only ones to survive.
Look how
out of
low
that
Ryan
onslaught.
is on the side of Phoenix. Ryan is couldn't
And
be lower health.
managing to not die somehow, getting the heals.
On a
Heal
eel!
style,
On a
reheal.
eel! On a eel!
Oh, Anna's there to heal. And they're really
Lucio down. Big
Oh.
slam
Ooh,
gets no
Slam
one.
getting absolutely nothing, but able to pin Ryan. Unfortunately,
Oh my
he
God,
ends
Ryan
up
is so
dying
low.
for that charge.
Visor comes out, and they don't have a D.Va in mech, so it's good. But he comes off of
Visor-
the low ground, so I'm not
Eyes are
sure about that
getting
one.
nothing from the look of it. The soldier goes down, Reaper along with him, and
They
then
win this.
Zarya too, leaving
Lucio
Toronto
going
to
in
finally take the point. Toronto or Phoenix's Lucio going in, dying immediately. Probably not the best call, as he may not be there for the next fight. Nope, he will. And with sound barrier. So with 2.5 minutes, Phoenix has 58% to hold Toronto from.
If they all just push triangle, they win the game. So
Yeah, they all
if
have their
Ana
ults.
can get, if
It's
Ana
true,
can get a
Toronto
sleep,
has huge ult economy right now.
Set up for Deadeye.
Reed and Tide.
There he is.
All of the ults, literally all of the ults coming out of Toronto, and a huge Deadeye.
that was a big deny, but let's show some
Out of
respect
Charlie,
to your
and a
main
team
tank.
kill. And a team kill
So,
providing just what
That
they
was
needed
a
in order for
huge
Toronto
Deadeye,
to
but
take the
let's
point.
show some respect for your main tank for setting up the Deadeye.
Mhm.
That is true.
Yeah. It was a well coordinated effort on the side of Toronto to just own that point in the last
he got
couple
like
seconds.
he got a 5K.
He did.
Well, it was three from the Deadeye, and then come
And then he
down
got two
and
with the-
yeah.
Look at this aim, dude. Oh, he didn't fan the hammer. 1 out of 10.
Look at the damage blocked and healing.
That's weird because I didn't know
48.
Reed had that button bound.
Yeah. Couldn't believe it.
Charlie's doing an insane job right now.
He is. Crazy.
But I mean, they're not really Charlie's the win condition right now. They're not countering the win condition.
He's
They were
more
at first, and then
most
they switched off.
damage
Next map is Ilios.
I'm here to
So
see
they're
some
definitely running
Roadhog.
pharmacy again. They're running pharmacy again. Ilios is so
Mhm.
strong for far.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're absolutely gonna run for her, regardless of the map, because she's good on all three.
Phoenix is subbing Bacharin for Unicorn.
Okay, so what was Bacharin?
Unicorn is an insane Genji though.
Bacharin is a plat. Unicorn is a. If he's a gold?
No.
No, he's a plat.
He's the
Yeah,
same.
he's a plat. Okay. Because I was about to say, if he's going, if that's gold, then it's a huge difference now.
That's right. I mean, honestly, the SR is not really making a difference in this game because Charlie's gold, and he's carrying these games right now. They're working really well as a team, but Charlie's the win condition so far.
Excuse me.
I don't know if this is your first time match, but we mute our mics when we yawn. It's called professionalism.
Sorry, I muted. For my yawn. Okay, so with two of the maps going to Toronto, what do we think needs to happen with Phoenix in order for them to take
Counter
Ilios?
Charlie. Counter Charlie. That's it. Counter Charlie.
Well, I'd agree, but even when they did, well, okay,
They
like
didn't consistently do it.
countering, it's true. They didn't consistently do it, but even when they did, when Charlie would switch, there's not necessarily, like to me at least, there's not a huge like hard counter to McCree right now, given how powerful Flash and Fan is.
What Hammond?
Hammond.
Roadhog.
To you, Hammond is a counter to everything.
I mean, he can tank the full combo with Deadeye. The Deadeye reload, he can tank the combo.
That's yeah. No,
Hmm
no, because the freaking because what is it? It's 60 damage per shot, or is it 55? No,
It's like a total of like 800 damage.
how much per shot is it from McCree?
I think it's
Or
60.
for 60? So that's if every bullet hits you, that's 360. With a combat roll, that's 720. And then
Yep.
with a dead eye, that's frickin' 1080. Right?
Alright, so
But
easy clap.
but even then, it's likely that Hammond isn't going to survive the combat roll. Even if he puts up the adaptive shield, he's likely only going to have one shot left in him, and then you just shoot.
Well, you gotta think, Hammond has armor as well.
Right.
And that on top of the adaptive shield. Just pile drive him. Because when you pile drive him, he'll probably hit the flashbang while you pile drive him. So as he's up in the air, when he fans the hammer, he's not going to hit you with barely any of the fan the hammer. And then he combat rolls fans the hammer once, and what are you going to do? Shoot him in the head, forehead. Alright, we go
Well, first map on Elios.
What?
So we're obviously seeing Farah again. I don't think any of us are confused about that, but are we expecting a full boop lineup with Lucio Hogg, or do we think that
There's also Ash.
Toronto's going to have some restraint? Yeah, as of right now, there's 6 potential heroes they could use if they're looking for environmental kills.
Oh, big
And
Hanzo.
Toronto's going to be
Hogg,
using 4 of them. Toronto's going to be using 4 of the heroes that can provide environmental kills on well.
Big yes from me there, dog. Now, the danger with running what Toronto's running is, if I'm running Lucio on well, I'm not healing team. Fuck the team, I'm getting red at boots. So that's a big thing. That's not.
On Toronto.
So the Orisa's not going to get a lot of healing, and especially
Really interesting to see if Hanzo is going to be able to do anything against Farah on the side of Toronto.
Just shoot her in the legs, and then because she drops between shots.
No boops as of yet, even though you can see all of the abilities going on both sides.
Looks to me like they're scared of each
As
other.
the point
Like,
opens,
honestly.
as the point opens up, both teams now fighting the point. Phoenix taking it every so often as Toronto gets off the point.
No picks yet though.
Yep,
Oh,
no picks on
Lucio
either
can get out.
side.
Lucio can get out though.
Yep. Oh, but Villainous cannot.
The life of a tank lane.
2 picks on the side of Toronto, but Ash is able to take out Hanzo.
I told you last map, Reaper is a Farah counter.
And Phoenix manages to take the point.
This is a big ol' yawn Matt booping the boopy boy.
Oh, Reaper getting halted into the hole. That's 2 boops taking out members of Phoenix. And unfortunately, it looks like they're just going to roll off the point and just hand it to them.
Questionable supercharger, but if they can get Bob to do something, this could be huge.
If I were them at this point, they've already lost the point. They've already had Orisa use the supercharger. Just back up. Don't feed them anymore. Back up, regroup, and then hit the point.
It's not gonna happen.
You're right, it looks like that's not going to happen, but it looks like with 1 pick on the Lucio, they're back on the point.
Bob's doing something.
Bob coming out from Toronto, getting booped away to the other side of the wall, but it looks like they're fighting him instead of just ignoring him. Bob finally rolling out. And Hogg taking out the Orisa from Phoenix.
I don't think I've ever died to a whole hog as Orisa. Very, like,
I
few
have.
times,
It can be.
honestly.
I
Not a
have.
lot.
Like, funny enough, it's actually worse to fortify against whole hog than it is to just take the whole hog.
Yep, just like Ryan, you don't just hold your shield up, you flick it, like, put it up and down, so you go back and go back, because you can't block the entirety of whole hog.
Right.
Oh. That one just died instantly.
Orisa almost just fucking died.
Supercharger coming out from the side of Phoenix.
Oh goodness.
Unfortunately, there with it not being covered by the shield and right in the open, it looks like it's probably going to go down.
Mercy
in a second.
dies.
It's still
Mercy
up.
falls
That's
in the well.
amazing.
It's still up, surprisingly. Yep, despite not being covered for a full 10 seconds.
And there comes. Oh.
Farah getting shot out of the sky by Orisa.
Orisa's a hit scan hero.
3 picks from Phoenix. Looks like they might actually be able to take the point.
Bob is available to do something though. They have Supercharger again, and Whole Hog as well.
And with no ults whatsoever on Phoenix, it's going to be really hard for them to hold this.
Tracer.
Honestly, you know what I would do? Knowing that we're probably expecting Bob, I, as Orisa, would set up kind of near the well opening and fortify against the Bob, and then have Lucio Google it.
I would just, as Orisa, I would just ult him in, but that's just me.
Phoenix losing the point pretty quickly in the face of
popping
Bob.
off.
13. Oh my god.
Reed is popping off right now.
And there goes the first point.
So I don't think Tracer was a good pick because of McCree, Reaper, Moira. I mean, it's not gonna go good for you. And Hog as
Probably not. And I'm even interested to see why they switched off of Farah. Sure, you died from Orisa, but part of that was because you were in the middle of a barrage. So
That is true.
They go for a big Ana, and they go Winston as well, and Soldier, Diva, Villain, aka Reed, aka Bronze Boy, goes to
looks
Diva.
like we now have Ashe coming in on both sides. And Zarya,
Tracer.
Winston
Oh, no,
coming
going
in
again.
from... Yep, and there's Farah once more. Unfortunately, no hit scan on the side of Phoenix once again.
I mean, if the Reaper can get killed.
Yep. Reaper killed Farah twice.
Straight to point.
People get way too concerned with the objective. Honestly, win the fight and then take it. That's just my opinion.
It depends, because there's also the point where if you take the point early enough, like they just did, right, and you win the fight, then you have gained so much more headway.
Right. Well, I mean, Toronto didn't really do a good job of trying to get in there either.
No, I
would
agree.
I would rather fire into the point.
Lots of trade-offs going on each side, but it looks like this fight's actually going to go to Phoenix.
Here you go, and there Tracer goes.
Yeah, Phoenix losing their Tracer,
And
switching
they go
into
to
an Ashe. Likely the reason why they use that ult. Bringing in a Reinhardt instead of the Winston. Flash and Fan coming out of McCree, but
Repinning.
not able to kill anyone. Farah taking out one of the tanks, and Farah on the point, going uncontested, aiming for the Zenyatta and actually finding him before being taken out by that hook. Much better show of force from Phoenix on this map, as they've been able to hold the point for 70% right now without giving it over to Toronto once.
They changed to...
Oop. 2 picks on the side of Phoenix. Can Nanohog
4.
survive long? Ooh, even Nanohog
Matt,
can't do it.
Matt just not playing the game. He got 3 boops.
Yeah. Yeah, huge play for Matt. Allowing them to take that point pretty easily. Phoenix, though, still with absolutely plenty of time to regroup and recover. And with almost 3 ults ready on the side of Phoenix, we'll see
They
how
Shadow
they use
Barrage.
those and they just take it.
Shadow Barrage or Shadow Deadeye, they win.
No.
They just baited out trans, it's fine. That's Shatter for trans, easy clap, easy trade.
Both support ults, or both tank ults coming out of Toronto. Unfortunately, Toronto losing 2 of their team members, but with nobody to back up the tanks, Phoenix loses both of them as well.
Big ults on both sides, too.
Absolutely. It looks like they may be waiting to do Bongo Bob in order to maximize the amount of damage that he's going to have. Oh, wait, no. Bob coming out right now, colliding with the Reinhardt.
Let's see if they go the Reinhardt. Oh.
And here comes
Battle
the Hoggle,
Mercy,
pushing
Battle
off Ryan.
Mercy.
3 picks on the side of Phoenix, absolutely devastating, and taking the point as Arisa is capping and taking the point back.
Battle Mercy killed Farm.
And it looks like Phoenix may be taking... Oh, wait, no, Zarya with the last second touch to contest.
It's high noon.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's enough.
Got it. Holy
Yep, Phoenix got it. Look at them go.
And
As
just
we
like
move
Reed,
on
he gets
to-
a last minute pin. Ruin the boys.
Yep, as we move on to Ruins, my favorite Elios map.
It's my favorite one as well because of Hammond.
No one's playing. Oh, Reed is playing Hammond.
Reed, I
No,
swear
he's
if you
not.
bamboozle me,
He's not.
I'm
He's gonna switch off
fucking
Hammond.
report you. I'm gonna
Oh,
report
look
you.
He's still on him.
Let's see.
Reed, make me happy, please, for once.
Oh, yeah, Reed actually leaving his Hammond. Looks like he will be playing his Hammond for even a second.
Rage quit, you better spectate this rolly boy. And Hammond versus Ryan, easy clap, honestly.
And Widow.
Questionable non-pile driving from Hammond. Oh, huge pile driver! Huge pile driver, already 40% to ult.
Putting up a couple.
50%
And
to ult already.
providing,
60.
providing enough harassment in the back line. Unfortunately, that's Phoenix all over that point, but they've already lost their Widowmaker. Pile driver
Hammond
coming in. I don't even think getting anyone.
Doesn't
But
matter, he
Hammond
has ult.
with ult. Yep.
It's because Hammond's a Pogger, dude. Mines come out.
And unleashing mines out of the point. Ryan is eating them up with the shield. Another huge pile driver.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Like, Minefield, you can almost use on cooldown with how fast you get it. Already 22% back to it.
Phoenix is, however, able to bully them off the point. Looks like Toronto may be falling back. Nope, doesn't look like it. Looks like they're fighting hard still for it.
Mercy just took out the Tracer.
Oh, that was unlucky. That's
And
unlucky.
with 4 ults on the side of Phoenix, they have a lot to defend against the next onslaught from Toronto.
Hammond already almost has ult again.
Mercy took out the Ashe.
Yes.
Mercy's popping and ult comes out. He has Minefield. If he can get a pile driver, he can get a big kill. Big.
Brig fighting in the front line.
Let's see if they can stay up.
Unfortunately, Unicorn Meat getting what looks like overrun.
Oh, look at the
As the
mine.
minefield comes in. Fortunately, getting no one from the look of it, but
Oh, the Reaper just
It
went
zoned
dead.
off point. It zoned off
yeah,
point.
they really did. Phoenix losing the point to Toronto with
Already
69%.
38% back to ult too.
However,
He's getting ult every fight.
Phoenix with two potentially huge ults, if they play this right, could easily take this point back really quickly. Rally as well, almost on their side. Oh, that's not going to help though.
Big pound driver, 57 ult. Ryan's really low.
Diva Bomb and
That was really
Hammond
good,
getting both
focus
tanks
fire.
down on the side of Phoenix.
We go to spawn! We go to spawn!
Phoenix really needing to regroup as they just keep trickling in. Their Junkrat way past where the rest of the team is, getting taken out easily.
They're gonna have minefield again for next fight. Honestly, I'd rally and spawn.
The ults.
I'd rally and spawn.
I wouldn't rally in spawn. I would like to do it at the
Considering-
first chunk.
I mean, considering where they're at, I don't know, and how far
Like,
they're
this
pushing.
is where
Oh,
I would
he's gone.
rally. This is where I would rally.
And here comes Riptide.
Ooh. Pulse Bomb getting absolutely no one. Rally finally coming out, but it looks like it's too late as Phoenix has already lost two of their members. And their other
Big
healers, and that was just
pile driver.
both tanks and the Brig fighting for the
Ryan
point.
is really
Huge
low.
slam, allowing the Tracer and the Lucio on the side of Toronto to go down, but here comes Bomb to harass Brigitte. And unfortunately, between the Hammond on one side and the Bomb on the other, Brigitte is not able to survive the point.
Reed is absolutely putting in work with Hammond right now. I'm actually really proud. I might shed a tear. He's putting an insane amount of work. He's not getting a lot of final blows, but he's doing an insane amount of damage right now.
Heroes never die.
Toronto able to take the point to overtime, but Phoenix is not done yet as they're all
And,
there.
I mean, he has
Unfortunately,
minefield
Charlie
again.
bringing out the Pharah once again. Minefield coming out, trying to deny them the space to even access the point to contest.
Oh, that was a huge boop into the minefield.
Diva Bomb finding no one, unfortunately, but
Yeah,
two picks out of Reed's minefield at the last second, likely allowing them the foothold that they'll need in order to take this map.
Reed is insane right now. He's insane right now on Hammond. Not a lot of tech being shown off, but his aiming with him is really, really low.
Mercy able to
Diva's
get the
not
red,
back.
but unfortunately dying for it.
So beautiful. I'm sorry. I just have to say that. So
Phoenix still surprisingly surviving the point for as long as they
Minefield's gonna
can.
come out again.
Minefield and Seismic Slam taking out Lucio, but the Minefield protecting the team from that grab and earning Toronto the third map.
Reed, you deserve to get your dick sucked tonight. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's Pogger, dude. Absolute bog champion.
not right.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Do this play the game.
Yeah, 3.
Yep, there we are. There's the last one.
Vote for Reed.
Honestly, I will openly admit that that last one really did belong to Reed. So unfortunately, Phoenix is going to be unable to bring home a match win today, but may still be able to take Rialto.
I personally like Rialto. It's my favorite map.
I do too. Rialto is another one of those maps where I feel there's a lot of potential comps that can be run without anyone being the absolute best.
I think it's just like that, like, I don't like the second point.
The second point?
Just because of like where it is. I think it's not nice. Oh. What are they putting in?
Looks like they're taking out Jaguar?
No.
Is that who they took out? Who did they take out?
Matt.
That they're putting
Oh,
Jaguar
okay.
in.
Okay. What was Matt?
Lucy. Oh,
No, I mean,
Like,
what was he? What rank?
is this
top
one?
500. Did you see that play of the game?
Because this might mess up the balancing.
Because honestly, I have no idea what Matt was.
I'm just gonna.
I just want to say
Hmm.
they're playing Hammond as the main tank.
You're right, they did on that one.
Just want to point that one out there, boy.
Alright, I'm naked. Why am I
Stop.
Okay.
I'm Breath of the Wild. I'm Breath of the Wild.
I just want to point out that I think this makes Reed the third best Hammond in the league because he's the third person to play Hammond in the league.
And by process of elimination, that automatically makes him win.
So, good job, Paul. Oh, he's the fourth. Goose and Curls and me.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got some of the tech down for Hammond, it'd be pretty pog.
There's a lot of solid plays out of him, like some really, really strong minefields, even if the only one to really get a kill was that last one.
I think Toronto's gonna be subbing in Mishi.
Oh, sleeper.
How did Phoenix bring back in there?
This is gonna be hard because then like it probably will be a little bit balancing.
I think Reed's just trying to work out how he could play around with it.
You'll have to take
I
out
mean,
both
with Mullen,
then.
yeah, with Mullen still in, I mean, he may be able to do it, but
But he'll have to take out both.
right, he'll have to get as low as he can everywhere else, you know.
He'll have to put back the people who were like Matt and someone else to replace Reed. Because
Yeah, otherwise, yeah, I agree. There's no way.
it just won't balance. I don't think Phoenix will let that balance go.
Mishi for Neko.
Thousand. Mishi's Masters, right?
I
He should be
think as of right
GM
now, he's
borderline.
Masters.
GM
I would
What's
think
his
he'd be GM
What's his
borderline.
rank right
Yeah.
now? He's GM borderline because that's a whole. I think it's 450
39,
points.
39, 35 is his
That's
season high.
Grandmaster's borderline, yeah.
What if he doesn't play
Yeah.
Genji? Does that mean he's just diamond?
No.
No.
If he plays Monkey, he's silver. Does that help? It feels bad through season 13. He got the 39.96.
I don't think this will balance out. I don't know if I counted it right.
Probably not.
Hold up.
Because they have
One
like
second. 1 second, 1 second. Let me grab my phone.
We'll hear my dog in the background crying.
Okay, so what is? Just tell me the SRs
Okay.
of people.
So 2 are plat. 1 is borderline diamond.
Okay,
2
1
are
second.
diamond.
One's a borderline diamond. 2 are diamond, or
Yeah,
1 is diamond. 2
2.
diamonds. Okay, and
Nishi's borderline grandmaster, so it's 1400.
so I have 5,800 on read sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
And since Phoenix didn't change from that's like way too over. Like
How much? What's the difference?
oh my god. So if Phoenix didn't change, they had 4,750.
So that's a whole 1,000. So yeah, tell
Yeah.
Reed that's not gonna be.
So
I mean,
550 of
yeah. So tell Reed like for 100, sure. For 550, there's no way. I mean, I get Mishi wants to play, but he may just have to suck it up.
Yulin says it's okay, but that is quite the
Right, but
distance between them.
this is going against rules though. No.
it is, and
What
Newland's
did you
not the
say it
captain.
was? It's 550 over?
It's 550 points
550.
over the allowable limit, meaning the total difference between the teams right now is 1,050.
You can look at the rules.
I mean, yeah, it's against the rules because the rules are only supposed to allow for
It
500.
doesn't
It was
it doesn't
already
even
breaking the
matter.
rules when we allowed the 6.
Yeah.
I think Yulin is the co-cap, by the way. Because somebody said he wasn't captain. I think he's co-cap.
Right, but I mean, is Quick here or is
No.
Mullen acting as? Oh, my bad. I didn't realize that Mullen was acting as ad hoc. Then yeah, it is his call. My bad. I thought Quick was here.
If either team cannot balance for
Your
another
mom's going to
another,
New
and
Jersey,
each
Mike.
team has 6 players, it can be decided whether to play the game or reschedule the game.
So, shall I start then?
1 second. No, just wait.
Sorry, guys. 1 sec.
Who's TP? Like I don't. I guess
So
it's
what's going
fine.
on? Okay.
It'll be not Toronto's fault that if they lose. So so Reed said that I guess the acting captain now is approved it. So we shall start the match if you'd like.
Welcome to Rialto. Initiating match.
What the?
What the fuck was that?
Oh, great.
What happened?
You guys
It
left.
says Grizz. I know, because it says Grizz is now the owner of the game.
Well, way to go, guys.
What the heck just happened? And now it says I do not have permission to form. What's going on?
Well, we kind of need Grizz in here.
Reed said go back to the lobby. I must have misclicked.
Okay.
That's a whoops on me.
Jesus Christ.
Reed's like, he's on the Discord acting as Cap for Quick. I told McDonald to go back to the lobby. I can swap back in Neko. And I'm like, we noticed.
Not bad.
It's okay.
Your music's loud, Nash.
Is it that Korea boo?
Well, they said it's fine. Might as well just play.
No, Reed's moving Mishi out, I think.
Mew Mew is now owner of the game.
Bridge.
Congratulations, Mew, moving up in the world.
Okay. Who are we switching?
Mishi for Neko.
Hold up. Yeah, Mishi for Neko.
Okay. Lord Almighty. Here we go. Does it look right?
It's right to me.
Should I move Mishi and to like only spectate his team?
No.
Okay. Oh god. Okay. Here we go. Oh my god, can I even press start?
You got this.
Rough time.
Alright, you can do it.
Rough time, guys.
Welcome to Rialto. Initiating match.
There's Mishi.
I was told to put Nico back in, so no one can fight
Yeah.
me on this.
Exactly. Yeah, you didn't do wrong. Like, that's just Mishi, like, talking crap with the Discord now. Okay, so Rialto. I really honestly do like this map. I know this is a like contentious map because I guess online, like when you check the stats for the win rate of this map, it's got like a disproportionate win rate for like the attacking side, but I still like it. I think there's a lot of crazy things, crazy fun things that can be done on this map.
It is true. I think like mostly just holding up there will kind of help. Up on there.
Yeah. No Lucio, no boop of any kind coming from
They
Phoenix.
could probably get like boops from.
They could probably get them from Brig.
Orisa could probably like.
No, I mean
pull
from
them in.
Phoenix.
Oh, I think that.
Yeah. Oh.
Here comes in Reed with the
Lucio,
boops.
yep, Lucio finding a boop in the Zenyatta.
Oh, but their hog goes down.
Yep, unfortunately one of the tanks and one of the supports on Phoenix went down. Brig going back, trying to regroup.
Looks like they're not gonna regroup.
Oh, and, well, no, they have. It was just a little, yeah, it was just a little wonky. But I just noticed now that, 2 off supports on the side of Phoenix, no main support there, going all utility, I guess.
Probably gonna use.
Oh, and Orisa goes down on the side of Toronto. 2 picks from Phoenix.
There goes there.
Yep, Lucio. Oh, 2. Now it's a 4-on-4.
See if they can pull this out.
Another pick. They might be able to with another pick going down on the side of Toronto until that res happened. Phoenix still fighting. Oh, losing 2 more. Probably best on Zarya to try to fall back. Oh, no.
Here comes a Riptire. Nope.
Getting nobody. Junkrat now firing from high ground behind the team. Not a bad idea, but honestly I would have waited a bit more. You know, I'd have been like, okay guys, when y'all are there.
I'm gonna start shooting behind.
Yeah, because as of what they did now, like, the Junkrat really had nothing to do. Hanzo coming in, 2 huge picks, taking out the supports from Phoenix. Basically giving them no chance to be able to make this fight. Ooh, wait, maybe with the Grav Blade getting 3 huge picks and taking out the Orisa from the Zarya. Maybe I was wrong. Absolutely can take this fight with another one going down on the side of Phoenix. Yep, the Roadhog has got to go though. Brig coming in to support the Zarya, and now everybody else returns to hold this point to the last 4 meters.
Let's see how it goes.
Orisa taking out Brig, and here comes the bongos. Huge slam getting, huge slam taking out the Roadhog, but it looks like Toronto is able to make the hold as it's just Genji and the Junkrat firing into the void, and unfortunately getting nothing.
Junkrat behind again.
Yep, Junkrat trying to deal with the Lucio and the McCree, but still not finding anybody right now.
They're holding pretty good. The fact that, like, Dragon Blade.
They are. That Dragon Blade was pretty freaking huge. Absolutely crazy. And it looks like, I don't know, I think they're trying to sneak behind.
Looks like
using the Zarya's bait. Yeah, using the Zarya's bait, it looks like they're trying to come in with Ryan from behind. But without Slam, yeah, I'm like, without Slam, I don't know what they hope to do with Reinhardt sneaking in the back. And there goes the overtime clock as Phoenix does everything that they can in order to try to push this payload to the last little bit. Lucio getting caught in a trap and finally being taken out. However, here comes the Dragon Strike taking out Junkrat.
Looks like tanks and Mercy are still
Yep,
there.
tanks, I know. Just a full-on brawl as one team just tries to do everything they can to get the other one off the point. Lucio in the back, nobody looking at him as he just peppers Soundwave into them.
Pepper. What is pepper? What the?
Peppers sound waves into them. When you pepper something, you're putting it into.
Gosh.
If you get peppered with bullets, then you're getting shot a lot.
Logical, I guess.
You Canadians and your inability to words.
It looks like Toronto.
Phoenix was able, Phoenix able to make that push, and now getting all the way to the corner before being contested at all.
Their Genji's really sticking out there. Oh, he goes
Yep,
down.
fortunately, Phoenix's Genji goes down, finally getting to the corner before anybody decides to even look at the payload. Roadhog coming from behind with a whole
Oh,
hog, unfortunately getting stunned out of it by Brig. And it looks
y'all
like
kind of
Toronto is
left point.
finally pushing Phoenix back.
That was
Phoenix
some
with
grab.
another grab-a-blade, but it looks like this one far less successful than the first one as it gets no one. But still 2 picks on the side of Toronto, which is huge, and may just allow them to push this point a little bit further.
See, this is the area I just don't like.
I agree. This is it can be a really hard area to break through because of this corner.
Yeah.
But it looks like they moved past the part of the corner that most have trouble with, and 2 more, 3 more, 4 more, goodness, going down on the side of Toronto as Phoenix is able to clean up and get the second point. Quick trade-off for a DPS and a support. Another one going down on the side of Phoenix. Likely, yep, and there's the res. Oh, and the Dragon Blade totally denied by the Transcendence.
That would suck. Like, they're really all
Yeah,
like grouped up together. You think
yeah.
about it, they didn't have trans.
Like, it could have been a really, really strong Dragon Blade, but unfortunately that Trans was right there to keep them all alive. But Phoenix still being pushed back. Oh, until the grab comes out. Unfortunately, the grab doing not much. Oh, but 3 picks coming out from Phoenix.
That's Toronto. Toronto
True.
got those picks.
From Phoenix, meaning Phoenix for the ones who died. But you're right.
Yeah. Okay. Fix your mistakes.
You're right. Phoenix with just a minute left to make the push. Huge pulse bomb coming out of the Tracer. Unfortunately, one of those is Reds, and here comes the Gravistrike, or the Graviton coming from Toronto's side. Both supports from Phoenix going down, and one of the tanks. Both of the tanks and one of the DPS. Doesn't look like they'll be able to make this push, but with 30 seconds left, if they can rally around this, then they have just enough time for one last good push.
They are doing pretty good actually. Like, they got it pretty far.
Especially given how like strong-armed they were on that first point. We'll see how much further they can get it. First pick goes down, and it's from Toronto. Oop, and another pick going down from Toronto. Pulse Bomb getting absolutely nothing, but here comes the Toronto Dragon Blade, and it manages to find 2, and with no Transcendence to save them this time. Toronto pushing Phoenix off of the point. Here comes the Dragon Strike from Phoenix, but unfortunately finds no one. Tracer trying to contest for as long as she can, but it looks like she's forced off the point as Phoenix pushes it for 2 points.
Score 0-2. Switching sides.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Phoenix. They pushed it a lot further than I was honestly expecting, given how much they struggled on the first point. So, let's see what we see on what's likely to be what's going to be the last push.
Goats.
Goats from Goats
Toronto.
coming out of Toronto, and unfortunately, Phoenix is in no way set up for any kind of counter goats at all.
I'm upset, Spaghetti, the fact that they're running goats, but let's see how this plays out. Never know.
It's true.
They really
Widowmaker does have a lot of potential anti-goats power. The problem is usually just that, like, it's very unlikely that given all the mobility of everyone that's going on, that she's actually going to be able to take out the Moira, the Lucio, any of the healers in order to actually have an impact on the greater game.
I feel like if they really follow the Zenyatta's, like, discords, they could probably...
Well, that's usually one of the reasons that Zenyatta is actually used in anti-goats, is to help with that. But it's kind of the same philosophy that I have for Bastion. One of the best anti-goats is, of course, Ana, because, you take out the healing, and that's the whole point of the goats. If you take out the healing, then you allow them to actually be dismantled. Yep,
Ryan's pushing up pretty far.
full wipe out of Phoenix as they attempt to regroup. Switching off of Widowmaker and onto Hanzo, I don't know if that's going to do much more, but switching onto Pharah, which could potentially have huge impact. But unfortunately, nobody there to contest in any way, shape, or form.
There goes Diva Bomb.
Diva Bomb finding the Pharah in the back and pushing the point easily to the first checkpoint.
Almost time, guys. Leaving the Diva on point.
Yeah, leaving the Diva on point to go bully the rest of the team. Yeah, but unfortunately, Phoenix entirely unable to get anybody into the back to contest that payload for even a second.
I think Hanzo's trying to...
Yep, Dragon Strike coming out of Hanzo, but unfortunately not finding anybody. Hanzo finally able to find a pick on the side of Toronto, taking out the Moira, but in comes the Diva, de-meching her. Let's see, Hanzo still working on the Diva, actually able to take her out. Looks like Goats was actually stopped for a second on the side of Phoenix. It's a matter of if they're able to consistently do this, though. Going in, considering they still have 4 minutes left to hold this, even more if they manage to give up the second point.
We're really splitting up here. There's the Shatter. And the bomb.
Lots of opening.
God, ignore
Rav coming in, Dragon Strike coming in as well. Unfortunately, Phoenix not able to really survive any of it.
They took out their team. Oh no. Cap points.
Mew absolutely disgusted with Toronto's behavior.
I'm always disgusted.
Diva Bomb taking out the trickling in members of Toronto.
I'm surprised that they...
Pharah actually managing to get 2 members of Toronto. Funny enough, Toronto switched off of a full Goats comp and actually brought in an Ashe to take out that Pharah.
See if this Tracer does.
And it looks like Phoenix isn't going to be able to make this hold as they get pick after pick after pick off on their side. Now it's just the Genji there trying to survive for as long as he can, but unfortunately he's going to lose it. And that goes to Toronto for a 4-0 game.
that I have to say, Ilios was very close.
Oh yeah, Elios easily the closest one. They had, I think that Phoenix's biggest problem, they just didn't counterpick as much as they needed to. They kept playing heroes like Junkrat and Soldier and all those who were fine in a vacuum, but given what they were facing at any given time, they were just giving up too much ground without picking.
That is the game.
Yep, and that is the game. Well, thank you for joining us, Mew. It was really nice to have you.
I'm not really. I'm not really talkative.
Hey, it's always nice to have more people in here talking, observing, offering their own insights. So, and of course, nobody is better at being disgusted at goats than you are. So, and with that 4-0 victory, I think that might end up pushing Toronto into the top 3